and welcome back to another video. And this video is a bit early. It's supposed to be this early because I am actually going live today. I don't know when you'll see this video because I'm talking about it now. You'll probably see this video maybe an hour or two, or maybe I might be even live right now as you're watching this video, but that's not the important part. My Twitch will be linked in the description of this video. But what we're here to talk about today is modifiers and save the world. And this is a perfect day for this video to go up because there's a lot of people that are in this that are gonna be experiencing Save the World for the first time, and this modifier video comes out at a really good time for that, for those people. Because they'll finally know what modifiers are, or for any old returning players, you'll know what the modifier, you'll have a refresher on the modifier. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. The first three modifiers, the most basic of basic modifiers that you'll probably see in most missions. As you can see right now, there is no modifiers on this current mission that you're watching. And that's because I said most missions. Not every mission will have modifiers. Not every mission will have certain modifiers. But these are the three on screen right now. You'll see Firestorm, Waterstorm, and Nature Storm. And these are probably the most fundamental ones and the most self-explanatory ones. It basically changes all elemental enemies to a certain type, whether it's fire, water, or nature. It's pretty self-explanatory, and I've said this in yesterday's video, but if you didn't watch it, or if you don't know, fire husks do increase damage to wood structures, water husks do increase damage to brick structures, and nature husks deal additional damage to metal structures. Just thought you guys should know before you get into Save the World. Anyways, now we're moving on to the next stuff, or the next setup, the next modifiers, which are more negative ones. On screen right now, you'll see acid pools, which is, it's not that self-explanatory, but it basically has a chance. I believe it's every husk in the game have a chance to leave a little damaging acid pool on the ground when they die. This modifier is kind of harmless unless you're in a combat mission, like a category, not an Atlas mission. Well, I guess technically yes, but you should be building for that anyway. So mostly combat-oriented missions like and hell, even missions like resupply, fight the encampments, or eliminate the encampments, whatever the mission's called, I don't remember off the top of my head. There's the Hunt the Titan one as well, that's new. Outside of that, there's Eliminate and Collect obviously as well. But outside of those missions, those are the really combat-centric ones that you'd find it in. Enrage is the next modifier that you'll see on the screen right now, and it's basically when any husk is near death, they become enraged, dealing more damage. Now, I'm actually not sure what this does. I haven't really seen this modifier too much, if at all. Actually, I don't think this modifier is even in the game anymore. I might be wrong by that, but I've really never seen this modifier, so I wouldn't have any real game experience to tell you what the modifier does. I know what Frenzied Death Burst does, for example, but that's later on. That's not this modifier. Anyways, we're on to the next modifier, which is Epic Mini Boss modifier, which you'll probably see in some mission alerts. You'll see it all the time in group missions, I believe. It's probably safe to assume if you're doing a group mission you'll fight a mini boss, but an epic mini boss may appear in the area or mission, i.e. just meaning a mini boss husk. It can be a normal husk, it can be a husky husk, it can sometimes be a chrome husk, but that one's a lot more rare nowadays. It can be a smasher, and I think that's it actually. It can be one of those 4 types of husks. And they can have all these crazy added defenses or perks or whatever you'd like to call it. They have all these enhanced like stats. They have they have a ton of HP. They have a health bar. They have a massive health bar. Basically, they're just a boss husk. But hey, that's not what we're here for. I don't have all the mini boss things on hand, so yeah, we're moving on. Exploding Death Bomb, one of the more annoying modifiers in just every mission. Not this isn't just something that's for combat orientated. It damages structures, it damages players, it damages really anything. It damages survivors that you're trying to save too. It's Huskies, any variant of Huskies, Chrome Huskies, normal Huskies, Riot Shield Huskies, and I believe Propane Huskies can all drop it. And obviously every Elemental Husky can drop it as well, but every Husky can drop a Exploding Death Bomb. It's not a chance. They will drop it every time they're killed. And it deals a decent bit of damage to structures. That's why you want to have a constructor like Power-Based Nox that heals your structures every for a certain amount every like 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's 4% if he's the sub commander, and it's 11% if he's the main commander, which is okay. And there's obviously trap perks that'll help heal that as well. But Exploding Death Bomb is one of the more annoying ones, especially combined with certain other ones. But we'll get into the combo area later on, because I'll be talking about some of the personal hell combos that you can get, or at least bad combos of modifiers in my opinion. Frenzied Death Burst, another extremely annoying one actually. Especially when it's with lobbers and flingers, it can be extremely annoying. That's the only time. That's really the only time it's annoying is when them. Cause I don't think I've mentioned this in a video. If I have, it might have been a video before. But but Frenzied Death Burst on a flinger can, I believe, one-shot in certain zones, if it's like a water storm, I think, or if it's wall weakening, which will be mentioned later on, or metal corrosion. I don't think metal corrosion, but if it's wall weakening in a water storm, and you have brick roofs, I believe flingers can one-shot your brick roofs, fully upgraded by the way. Not sure if it's that specific setup, but I know they have one-shot them in the past because I've witnessed it. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of it, but I have witnessed it. Healing Death Burst. Again, this is another annoying modifier, especially since wildlife does benefit from it. Since wildlife does benefit from it, like the raptor that you just saw would benefit from Healing Death Burst, which I don't understand why, but it is what it is. Healing Death Burst can be annoying in combat areas, especially paired with certain other modifiers. But again, like I said, we'll get into that later. Metal Corrosion. I've seen a lot of discourse about this online. Metal Corrosion, I believe, to the extent of my abilities, it only is basic husk attacks. Like, we're talking super basic. They would die if they get in a shot tunnel. Metal Corrosion is a lot less of a threat than people think it is, because I believe it's only basic husk melee attacks affect it. Every other husk attack doesn't really affect it. So that's why if it's Okay, I'm gonna do a combo right now. If it's metal corrosion in a water storm, that is where you would build out of. You would still build out of metal because metal corrosion doesn't really do what it says. Essentially, it's only basic husks that will deal extra damage, and the basic husks will be dying to your shots almost if you had them right. And then we're gonna move on to Quicken. Monsters gain movement speed after a time of taking damage. I haven't really. Oh yeah, and in the top right corner next to the map, you can see the modifiers on this mission. That's how you'll easily be able to tell. If you also want to tell, there's a mission information thing on the select missions thing page, or if you're loading into the mission on that screen, there's a mission information. You can just go ahead and press M or whatever keybind it is on your controller or keyboard and look at the mission, look at everything the mission has. I believe you can look at the rewards and the modifiers from that screen. But Quicken, again, this isn't a big modifier. It's alright. I wouldn't say it's an overly threatening one. It's just a modifier just for the sake of it being a modifier, really. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And then we go with more negative modifiers. As you'll see on screen right now, Ricochet. This is one of the mini-boss things that can appear on mini-bosses. It won't appear as a mission. It won't appear as a mission thing. A mission modifier, as you can see on the top right. As I mentioned before, it won't. It's only on mini-bosses. This is one of the things that you'll see on mini-bosses. If you see a Ricochet mini-boss, please do not hit the contact button on it and shoot it. Use your melee weapons, let the traps kill it, do anything but shooting it. You can die from it. It is, especially in content like Fortnite that comes out later this year, you will die if you keep shooting at it. Especially if you use a plasma discharger or an explosive weapon or a black metal weapon that deals all the damage or an extensive amount of damage at once, and you're not ready for it, you can die. There's probably a clip out there of someone dying to plasmatic discharger or a black metal weapon shooting a mini boss, not realizing it was a Ricochet. I bet you there's one out there. This platform is massive. Anyways, we're moving on to slowing attacks. As you'll see on screen right now, whenever a player is struck by a melee attack, they move slowly for a short time. This can be annoying in combat-oriented missions, but again, it's sort of like quickened in the terms of like, it's a modifier just to be a modifier. It's not overly annoying, especially since this also comes naturally on slowing attacks and slowing pulls are basically the same thing. They both slow you down. You can see on screen right now, slowing pulls basically does the same thing as acid pulls does. Monsters have a chance to leave a slowing pull on the ground when they die, yada yada. It's basically the same thing. These two are kind of interchangeable, especially since you can be slowed by water husks as well. So there's 3 sources of slowing in the game, and all of them have obviously different activation windows and all that jazz. Anyways, we're moving on to one of the more annoying modifiers, smoke screen, which husks have a chance, well, really any enemy except for wildlife, have a chance to create a smoke screen when they die, granting every husk that's in the smoke screen damage resistance to any of your ranged weapons. Which, by the way, it's super annoying. I'm not sure what the number is on the damage resistance. I think it's maybe like 50% DR or something like that. I don't know specific numbers, but I know it is it's significant enough to make me not want to shoot into the smoke screen and try and kill us. Unless I have affliction on a weapon, then maybe. But it's significant enough to where you will like physically notice it in just any mission. I don't believe this affects traps though, so you should be fine if it's a trap mission. If it's a combat mission, yeah, good luck. You better have a melee weapon on you. Anyways, moving on to uncharted enemies. And it's very self-explanatory, as you can see. Husks don't show up on the mini-map. You'll see it in literally every mission except for these types of missions, that any husk or enemy except for wildlife will appear as a red dot on the screen, on the mini-map. And that's your easy free... Well, if they're awake, obviously. If they're sleeping, they won't appear because they're not a threat. As you'll see on screen right now, I believe. There'll be a bunch of... Yep, there it goes. A bunch of red dots. It won't work if they're sleeping, but if they're awake... Okay, yeah, I see their smoke screen inactive too. Like, I kind of stopped shooting rapidly when smoke screen was active, but yeah, Uncharted Enemies, kind of a simple one. It is annoying in combat focused missions. Now, time for one of the worst modifiers, wall weakening. Buildings become increasingly vulnerable for damage for a short time after they're attacked. You know, I know it says wall weakening. I know it says that, but it kind of doesn't matter because it's every structure in the game. From nature structures that you see me hitting on screen now, to cars, to RVs, to walls, to roofs, to pyramids, to the floors, to just anything, basically, that is player built or is as a structure. The only thing that I don't think this applies to is mission objectives, such as Lars's Band, the Atlases, the Deliver the Bomb Depot, and I guess Refuel the Home Base, whatever they're called. It doesn't apply to those things, which is incredibly lucky. And then life leech attacks, basic sort of thing. You can see it in this, it's active in this mission right here, but enemies restore health each time they deal damage to, I believe it's really anything. If it's a player, if it's wildlife, if it's a structure, I believe it's mostly anything they can regenerate off of. Which it can be annoying if it's something a bit more tankier, like a Husky Husk or a Riot Husky. But if it's a basic Husk, if it's a basic Husk or a Husk String, it's just, Even Labras, I believe, have life leech attacks. Oh, sorry. I'm a little tired. I've been doing videos all day. But yeah, Labras have it. Pitchers and Zappers have it as well, which makes it an increasingly annoying modifier because if you've noticed, those three are projectile based enemies and you still regenerate. But we're on to the positive modifiers now, which are gonna have to wait until after these messages. So, where were we? Oh yeah, we were talking about positive modifiers. We're on to these. And the first positive modifier is adaptabilities, which is hero abilities do more damage. Every hero ability does more damage. As you'll probably see in the bottom right corner under the builds and next to the 3 slots for weapons, those 3 things are your abilities. The things on the other side, on the left, on the bottom left screen, that are bound to my F1 and F2 key binds are your gadgets, which are unaffected by the adaptabilities modifier. And then we have adept constructors, ninjas, outlanders, and soldiers, which are self-explanatory. They basically just do extra damage. Not too much there. Although I will say about these adept well, not adept, but these positive modifiers is that you only see a good chunk of them in lower zones. Like I'm talking about when you're just starting out, maybe in the second zone, which is Planker 10, and maybe you'll see them sometimes in Candy. It is pretty rare to see them in Twine Peaks, I believe. And then building constructors, build, upgrade, and repair costs are reduced for constructors. This is probably one of the this is one of the best positive modifiers in the entirety of the game, simply because you're gonna see it next mission. You're gonna see it in this next mission. Building is a big part of being just a constructor in general. And you'll see how much materials it consumes building and upgrading everything and repairing occasionally. But we're on to the next one, which is sword ninjas, which ninjas do more damage and crit more often with swords. Personally, I don't play ninja often anymore. At least not as often as I used to, so this modifier would kind of be meaningless to me, but it's basically a ninja. It's basically doing bonus damage for ninjas. Also, yeah, the footage was stuttering. Sorry, there's not much I could do about that. My PC was stuttering itself actually during this. Upgraded Outlanders. Outlander abilities do more damage. I believe this is the same as Adept Outlanders, except for it's just their abilities. So kind of a lesser version of the Adept Constructors and Adept Outlanders, but yeah. So, headshot soldiers do more damage with assault weapons when scoring headshots. This one is a bit more specific because it's any AR or assault rifle that you have will deal additional damage when you get a headshot. It's not a crit it's not crit, it's a headshot, which is like, it's alright for a positive modifier, but it's just like, you could have just said, you could have just had it be, they do more damage with assault weapons or something. Keep it simple. Anyways, we're on to the more modifiers, which is Leaping Ninjas. Oh, this is actually one I don't think I've really seen much. But Mantis Leap now deals AoE damage when landing. It depends on how much damage that does, but that sounds like it would be interesting. Focus ninja ability cooldowns and energy costs are reduced, which is a really good modifier for ninjas. And then well-drilled soldier abilities cooldowns and energy cost are reduced, which is also really good, especially in combat missions where soldiers shine. Concussive shield break. When a player's shield is destroyed, nearby enemies take damage. Smaller enemies are likely to be knocked back. This one only works if you don't have a blast from the past build on, which blast from the past basically gets rid. You have to have 2 dinosaur heroes on your team, which, if you're getting into Fortnite, I save the world now. This would be the best time to talk about this because it's what is the stuttering hard? Jesus, sorry. Oh, and it's desynced. Oh god. Whatever. I might mute this footage and put music. This part of the footage might be muted. I might have music over it, but anyways, yeah. So you might not even be hearing this, but in my ears it's desynced, which is annoying. Yeah, I'm just gonna put music over this for you guys, but yeah, Concussive Shield Break only works if you don't have a Blast from the Past build. Blast from the Past being you need 2 dinosaur heroes, which they come out in the Blasted Badlands Venture Season, which For anyone not in the loop of Venture Seasons, that's next Venture Season for everyone. I believe it's bad. No, because this is the Scurvy Shoals. Yeah. So next season is the summer, basically the summer season. So yeah, it'll be there. The the Dinosaur Heroes will be there next season, and you can get your Blast from the Past build there. Jesus Christ. Concussive Shield Breaker is, again, another positive modifier. It's not really all too useful if you have a Blast from the Past build, which is how I've played the game mostly. But knockback melee attacks. Player melee attacks do increase knockback. Again, this is kind of unless you're playing a ninja, obviously. There's not much I need to say about that. Melee life leech attacks. Heroes heal a percentage of the melee damage that they deal. Again, it's basically reverse life leech from earlier. It's alright. And now powerful energy attacks. Player energy attacks deal more damage. I'm not sure fully what they mean by that bit. Like, I'm not fully sure if it means energy weapons get a boost, or if it's just any attack that takes energy is more damage. But yeah, some of these positive modifiers I don't have a lot of information, in-game information on. Okay, basically all these are the same thing. Powerful assault rifles, explosives, pistols, shotguns, snipers, axe and scythes, clubs and hardware, swords and spears. They basically make these specific weapons deal more damage. Personally, I haven't noticed the modifiers if they have ever been on for a mission, so that goes to tell you how useful they are. Anyways, moving on. Powerful traps. Traps hit harder, fire more often, and last longer, which is probably one of the most underrated modifiers that is extremely good. Although, I don't believe you see this on many missions, if at all, if it is on ever. And if it is on ever, it's in a zone where it literally doesn't matter, unless it can be on in 130s or 140s. Whatever, unless it can be on in these. If it can be on in Twine missions, it's fine. But if it can't be on in Twine missions, then it's kind of Anyways, we're moving on to the exclusive modifiers, which I don't know why they made these exclusive. Some of these are really cool modifiers that should be able to be enabled in the rest of the game, but these are Venture exclusive modifiers, and I will be telling you every Venture Zone that they come in. First, we have on screen right now, you can probably read it yourself, Escalation, and it's in Flannel Falls, which is basically the spring-ish zone. It's the transition from winter to spring. Elimination streaks boost player damage up to until 100%. Certain elimination streaks will also trigger elemental bursts, dealing out additional damage at effects at each player's location. That sounds a lot cooler than it actually is. Playing with this modifier is kind of Like, it's cool and all, but it's just like it's alright. It's not the overall best modifier. It's just alright, because it's dealing with combat related stuff, which is just it's alright. Now for Scurvy Shoals, the Venture season that we are currently in right now, if you're watching this video when it's fresh and not sometime else, this is the zone that we are currently in, which Bouncy Husks, Husky Husk, and Mist Monsters all have increased health, which might sound bad, but they are most susceptible to knockback, especially from ranged and melee weapons. I can tell you for a fact that this is actually pretty pretty reliable in terms of bounce back. And then there's a bonus modifier, which is treasure chest super stashes filled with valuable loot will periodically drop from enemies you defeat. This does include traps, so if you happen to do what I do in this mission and just trap up a base and go AFK, or mostly AFK, you'll get bonus loot from traps from your kills. And then Blasted Badlands, this is for the next Venture Zone that we'll be in, and honestly it's probably the worst modifier. Rage. Energy, as you can see on screen right now. Energy regeneration is disabled. Deal weapon damage to earn energy. Ability cooldowns are faster and do more damage. The ability cooldowns and them doing more damage sounds cool until you realize you have to actually fight with your weapons. Like, no traps give you energy, none of that. You have to actually fight. And the only one that would help you get energy back is Fossil Southie. So you would probably have to have him in a build if you wanted to get massive energy regen. Which just makes Rage the worst modifier, in my opinion. It's the worst Venture modifier. But anyways, we're on to the next modifier. Oh wait, hold up. This is in competition for the worst modifier. But short range, which is in the cursed zone of Hexylvania. Enemies close to player or defender suffer more damage, those further away suffer less. All enemies have a chance to drop a healing pickup when eliminated. This modifier probably has to be the worst one. I will say it is worse. It is slightly worse than Blasted Badlands Ventures modifier, which was Rage. It's slightly worse than that because of it doesn't give players any benefits except for the healing pickups, which are basically useless anyways. They don't give much health. And Hexylvania itself is just a terrible Venture Zone. I'm gonna keep it a stack 75 with you guys. Hexylvania is just the worst Venture Zone, just overall. It's bad. It's boring. It's bland. And then we have Frozen Fjords Zone, which is probably the best modifier that they've ever probably added into this video game, which is buff soldiers, constructors, ninjas, and outlanders. It gives them certain and specific buffs, such as, I believe, Outlander's anti-material punch takes 0 energy. And if that doesn't tell you how good the superhero modifier is, I don't know what else will. Outlanders take 0 damage. Outlander's anti-material punch takes 0 energy. You can punch forever. And that's just the best modifier in the entire game. That's the best positive modifier in the entire game, and it is only for 3 months before it gets vaulted for before you don't get to see it again for 9 months. So yeah. Anyways, I think I want to talk about what I do want to talk about here is positive. I don't think I can do it like that. Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if I can't do this the way I'm thinking, and no, I can't. So I'm gonna have to do it weirdly. But here, I'm gonna briefly talk over some of my personal worst modifiers in the game, and then we're gonna end out the video. Let's see. I would say, honestly, Nature Storm with metal corrosion, wall weakening, which is over here. Wall weakening, and then I believe metal corrosion and exploding death bombs, which is a very possible combination that can happen in the game. That is probably one of the worst modifiers because depending on the storm, you will not be built. If wall weakening is on, you will not be building out of that structure at all unless it's for floors or roofs. and even then, you might not be using floors because of Exploding Death Bomb. Because Exploding Death Bomb, especially in the higher zones, deals an atrociously good amount of damage. And this is for like this is my person. That's the personal worst out of the worst for the defense type missions that you see me in right now. The worst for the worst for, I would say, combat missions like encampment ones and eliminate and collect and stuff like that would be Nature Storm with exploding death bombs, probably healing death burst, and then smoke screens and pot. Well, actually, I think those three are good enough on their own. Cause Nature Husk sap energy away from you. That's their special thing. Obviously, smoke screens drain. Obviously, smoke screens make you deal less damage with any ranged weapon. So if you're using a full loadout of ranged weapons, you'll be doing less damage. Exploding Death Bomb, which I've already gone over, it deals damage to you. It can deal damage to you, which, in again in 130s and all these Twine Peak zones, they hit kind of hard. And then with Healing Death Burst, especially if there's a Nurse Husk in that group of husks that you killed or are fighting, those Healing Death Burst heal everything, even wildlife, making the whole situation a lot worse than it should be. Those are my personal worst modifiers. If there's any others that you guys don't personally like, let me know in the comments down below. But generally, that's about all I have to say for this mission, really. I meant not mission, but for this video. I know it's been on the longer side of videos, but I wanted to really get out all the personal things about modifiers because some of them can suck if you're not prepared to deal with them. I hope you guys find this video useful because this is kind of the first video of its sort of kind I'm doing in terms of like having like advice for stuff, because I'm not the best Save the World player. I'm not the worst one either. Like I said in the previous video, I think I said this in the previous video, like I said, though, I'm just the Save the World player that has a decent amount of experience with the game. I have a decent amount of years played in this game. Like, I have played this game a lot. I do know what I'm talking about occasionally when I'm talking about certain things, like chat placements and stuff like that, because I have the knowledge of years backing me, and obviously of other content creators and such that have made videos. But yeah, that's about really it. If I am streaming, I'll catch you guys over there. But if if Twitch streams aren't your thing, I'll see you next week for probably a new mini series that I'm gonna be starting, since I really don't have any more video ideas, unfortunately, outside of like the 100 day stuff, but that's gonna take a while to film, so I need something to fill the gap between that. So this next series is aiming to do that. It's gonna be a short related series, or a short video related series. If I can get shorts to work for this, I'll be happy. But yeah, you'll just have to stay tuned to the channel to find out what this little venture is. I hope it does well. But anyways, seriously, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video has helped some of you new Save the World players who are coming over to try it. Save the World. I hope this helps you guys out. And if it doesn't, I'm sorry, I've tried my best. But I seriously do hope this helps you out, or hope that you learned something from this video, even if you are a veteran at Save the World. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you, if you're coming over to the stream after this video, I'll see you on stream. If not, I'll see you guys next week. Remember to always stay awesome, stay safe, stay frosty, and stay cold out there, guys. It's getting a little warm outside. See you guys next time. Later.
Locate survivors and weak points in the storm.